Good morning, this is Maya from Bali, and I'm very happy to talk with you today. And today it will be a bit of philosophy, and we are going to explore um, these three concepts, which are resilience, non attachment, and impermanence, or I would say resilience, impermanence, and non attachment. I think that's a right evolving of the thought. So resilience, especially now, it's a word that everybody is starting to use. It's a bit like a fashion concept. So resilience, just I remind you that it is the capacity for someone or a system to get up after a trauma. It's the capacity, the skill for a person or a system to absorb or evolve after a trauma, as how fast this person or this system can evolve or can absorb a trauma. So that is what is resilience, the definition of resilience. Resilience, usually it's linked to your genetic first. So first, it depends on your DNA. Sorry, DNA, I was talking in French. So this, nothing to do about it, is it? The second thing is it is about when you were a very young child and how secure you felt. So if you were into family with disorder or with violence or with sensation of insecurity, your resilience will be very low, unfortunately. So you cannot do anything about your life on this side, but you can do something on others' life. So always think about when you meet small children or about your own children, always remember that their feeling of security, true or not, but their feeling and how they feel, if they are secure or not, will have an direct impact on their capacity to absorb the trauma later. Okay? So having someone into a violence or insecure environment is not helping this person to be able to face it later. It is the opposite. It will always give a sensation of insecurity to this person when they will grow up. And their resilience will be very low because they will always be fighting. So the more secure a young child is, so his resilience will be higher. So you cannot do anything about your life, but you can maybe step back and observe what was your experience, understanding how is your resilience now in this, for example, COVID situation, but it can be any situation. So I was blessed, I was lucky, I was secure. I did went into some small trauma in my childhood, and it did have an impact in all my young age, until one day I understood why I had this feeling of insecurity and this resilience problem. And when I found out why, what was the reason, what happened in my young age, what happened in my experience, that gave me this insecurity sensation and this resilience issue, I went over it. And all the other part of my life which were very secure and very, very protected, could rise up and I could build up my resilience. So it's a work you have to do with yourself, but you cannot change your past, can you? So now we can only work from now. And from now, we have to talk about impermanence and non-attachment. So impermanence, what is impermanence? Everybody talk about impermanence. I was listening to the Dalai Lama yesterday, and he was talking about impermanence also. Impermanence is a reminder that everything is in movement all the time. Everything is in movement all the time, and everything is interrelated. So if something change, something else change. And it's always in movement, always in changes. It never stops. So you cannot think that the life you have now is fixed and firm. It is not. It will change. It will change all the time. It is changing now. It is changing because you're listening to me, for example. It is changing now. So when you grab into your happiness, for example, you are currently having a beautiful life and you are very happy about it and you want to keep it like that. This is attachment because you are so happy. Your husband is very nice, your kids are very nice, and you have a beautiful house and you have a nice job and you want to keep it. This is attachment. And what happens when there is attachment? You will fight to keep it like that, exactly like that, not changing. But it will change. It will change because everything is moving and you cannot fight that. It will change, it will move on, something will happen, maybe in a good way too. This is not me to judge. And what is good, what is bad, this is not me to judge. However, we cannot stay into, we cannot be fixed into this present moment. The present moment is always evolving and changing, okay? But the moment you know that it works in every situation. So for example, this COVID situation, maybe some of you it's very hard to live. You are in lockdown in your house and it's not happy and the family is not there or is not so well working on. You are feeling a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. This situation is evolving. This situation is in movement. It is going to change. It is going to change. From birth to death, it is changing. And yogi even say, and not only yogi, but even say that even in death is changing because you will go into another life. So it's still evolving again and again in movement all the time, never stopping the movement. So the moment you understand that you will not stay, this situation, how it is now, is not going to stay how it is now. You don't have to get attached to it. So if you are afraid of the present situation, you can drop this is an attachment too. You want to go out. You want to run away. So when you are very happy, you want to fight to keep it. And when you don't want it, you reject it, you want to run away, far away from it. So this is also an attachment. You will do whatever you can to avoid it. This is also an attachment. So the moment you drop the attachment, dropping this idea that this is good or bad, so dropping the labeling of good or bad, or just dropping this idea that I need to stay, I need to keep it, to keep my happiness close to me, or I need to reject whatever happens to me so I can move on. Just wait, be patient, because it's going to change by itself. This is impermanence. Just wait, be patient. When there is a moment which is more difficult emotionally or mentally to go through, take a step back. Wait. It's going to change.